Hey again, gang. Tim here. Just going to do a real quick video combat demonstration for Swords and Stones. So I've got my two characters here. We've got our player character. We've got our NPC slash monster. We've got a dice tower over here, and I've got a bunch of dice to choose from. So basically what I'm going to do is just run through how combat works, how initiative works, and of course damage. So really quick, if this situation players decided it is time for a battle, then you roll initiative to decide who attacks and who defends. So we go roll a d6, and I get a 1. So the 1 means that the PC is on the attack. So now I have a designated d20 for each. So we roll 2 d20s for combat. So the blue one would be the PC, the purple one would be the NPC. So at level 1, which this character is, they need a DC of 10 to have a successful hit against the monster. The monster needs a DC of 12 to have a successful defense against the attack. So we roll. Character rolls a 15, no problem. Hits, no problem. Also, the monster rolls a 14, so they defend themselves, no problem. So this character in this case is using their sword. So now I move the combat dice out of the way, and I get a d8 for the character for damage, for sword. Because it's first level, we just go straight off the weapon damage. And 4 points. Now, because the monster rolled over a DC of 12 and they defended themselves, they actually only take 3 points of damage. And that's it. Next turn. So next turn, we roll the d6 again to see if the player character is defending or attacking. And in this case, now we're on the defense. So again, we roll the 2 d20s. And I've got a natural 1, which means I failed my defense horribly. They would have been okay anyways because they've got a 15. So with a natural 1 on my failed defense, not only do they roll a d6 for damage, which is standard for monsters up to level 4, I roll an additional d6. Now, I only have 8 hit points. This could be instant death if I get over 8 points of damage. And I got 4, so that was lucky. So I take only 4 points of damage, so I am down to 4 now. So at this point, my hit points are getting kind of low. Do I want to keep fighting? Well, unfortunately, this character decides, yes, wants to try to battle this creature. So again, we roll initiative. 6, again, I'm on the defense, which means I might take nasty damage. So let's roll our combat dice, 2d20. I rolled a natural 20. So even though they rolled a 17 for their attack, I rolled a natural 20 on my defense, which means I take no damage. Now we can look this up in the guide, but I also get an instant counterattack of 1d4 damage. So I roll my d4. And it wasn't a great counterattack. They only took a point of damage, but at least I got an instant counterattack back. Okay, next round. So I survived that round. I figured, well, I'm pretty confident. Let's do another one. Oh, I'm on the defense again. So let's roll our combat dice. I got a 17. Good defense. They got a 19. Still good attack. So we roll the d6 for the damage. 3, but because I had a good defense, I -1. So I only take 2 more points of damage. So now I'm down to 2. Yikes. Okay. This character decides, you know what? I don't want to risk it anymore. I'm going to move on. Okay, so that's basic combat. Okay, so you can run away. I don't actually do any sort of opportunity attacks in this game. I don't let the monster take a quick shot. I just let the character decide to get the heck out of the way. Because that could be an instant turn and run, and that may not give the monster an opportunity to attack. So, needless to say. Now, let's say this was using a spellstone instead of using a weapon. So again, you roll initiative, and I got a 2. I'm on the attack. Good. Roll our d20s. Now, for a spellstone, again, I need to get over 10 at level 1, and I add my intelligence. Now, for the combat, I could have added my strength for my attack rolls to help that's my modifier for attack, but I didn't need it because I rolled over 10 each time. So let's try this. So in this case, I only rolled a 4. Monster rolled an 18. They've got good defense. So I rolled a 4. My intelligence is a 4. So I only get an 8. That's a failed attack. I need a 10 or better. End of that turn. So we roll initiative again. 3. I'm on the attack again. So now I roll again. This time I got a 6. Whoops, moved it. I got a 6. And the creature defended themselves well again. They got a 16. So I got a 6. So I add my intelligence score to that, my modifier. That makes 10. That means I'm successful. So whatever spell it is, let's say it's a fireball. So now I roll my damage. Now, with spells, you roll 1d4, and again, you add your intelligence modifier to give you damage. So a max possible of 8 points of damage. And I've got 2 plus 4, 6 points of damage. Now, depending on where that monster is at that particular time, they might be dead. So this is the chaos of combat, is that depending on what you roll for initiative each turn, you could always be on the attack on a 1, 2, or a 3, or you could always be on the defense on a 4, 5, or 6. And as you saw in the previous one, if I'm on the defense each time, I could die fairly quickly, even at level 1, where the monster is only dealing out 1d6 of damage each turn. Any questions? Let me know. If I had rolled a natural 20 on an attack, that monster would be dead automatically, no matter what. And again, I explained this in a previous video, going through the game guide, but it's because, let's say I've gone through 2 rounds, and I'm down to less than 50% on my hit points, and I decide, well, I'm going to risk it one more time, and I roll a d20, a natural kill, then I just saved myself. So I just lucked out, and I've been saved. I don't have to worry about being low on hit points, and I walk away luckily from that combat. Now, that could go the other way. I could run that risk, and then all of a sudden it's a fail, and the initiative is a defense instead of attack, and then I could be dead. So it makes characters as vulnerable as they are strong, and it makes players think, well, maybe combat's not always the best option. And then going forward from there, that's pretty much it. So you run through the turns with each player rolling initiative. Again, see how combat just took like less than 2 minutes for, a couple rounds. And that's why I've designed it this way, so that it's quick and it's easy. And yeah, any questions? Fire me a message. Ciao.